Good morning, everyone. To discuss week three's commentary, abject capital, value, and the case study of food waste. I feel like as a society, we place a lot of value on food in its production stages. We want to know where our food is coming from, how it's raised, how it's made, the transportation of said food, and how it's presented. Very pretty at retail stores. However, we place significantly less value on food waste, its disposal, and food loss during production and transportation, which is an ever growing issue in today's society. Um, if we look at food waste at its face value, we might only pay attention to the deterioration of the food, the wastefulness of it all. And in regards to food loss, we might look at missed opportunities to feed others and things of that nature. However, we fail to take into account, the waste of energy, the waste of resources, and the waste of labor that are associated with the food itself, and how much time and resources it takes to grow this food. The documentary Just Eat It forces us to look at the uses of our food in sort of a hierarchy. So, in a pyramid form, reading top down, we see food. We should be using it first and foremost to feed the human race. Going down, we'd use it to feed our animals. Going down, creating energy from it. And then going down, composting the resources to get it back into the soil. And then finally, last resort, its final resting place is to be disposed of in landfills, which we learned is a huge ordeal due to trapped oxygen and the smotherness of food in landfills, creating greenhouse gas emissions and methane into our atmosphere. So, two reoccurring themes that I noticed in this week's readings, as well as the documentaries viewed, some commonalities would be, the sheer excess in production and consumption of food in developed countries, as well as inadequacies in education regarding food purchasing and the disposal of said waste. We learned that, best by dates, sell by dates are often misconstrued by the consumer, which can lead to a lot of food waste. We learned that about 60% of consumers are throwing away food prematurely because they don't understand what the dates are telling them. And we were suggested that it might be nice that the manufacturers and the retailers kind of have this hidden code where they scan, and that the retailers know when to get rid of the food and when it's not safe to put on display, leaving the customers kind of oblivious to these notes that are often misconstrued when purchasing food. So, I found it really eye-opening that there are many laws and regulations focused on littering, waste management, and recycling that are prevalent in today's society. However, food waste kind of lingers as sort of an enigma. It's prevalently talked about, however, not a whole lot has been done regarding it. We haven't implemented sufficient infrastructure to handle this current and growing issue. Food production and consumption are growing at a steadily and accelerating rate that our food pantries and our whatever infrastructure we do have for composting and reusing said food is being overwhelmed. So yeah, it is a prevalent issue and something that needs to be addressed. And then just kind of wrapping up in regards to abject capital, a lot of paradoxical things in Giles' Anatomy of a Dumpster. Sort of found it kind of hard to read, but kind of boiling it down the best I can is, objection has a negative connotation in itself. We live in a society of abundance, and that is seen within our portion sizes, and how we are and how we view food and the value of food and wasting food. Giles said that between 1970 and 2003, the average American's caloric intake grew by 523 calories per day. Empty calories, overeating, and expensive dieting, of economic binging and purging, which has the effect of multiplying capital's opportunity to return a profit. And I believe that capitalism, really thrives off this qualitative and quantitative change in American diet and how we value food and how we consume it. And abject capital, sort of the unwantingness, the food that is less desirable, seems to disrupt that capitalistic viewpoint on how we view food, how we purchase it as consumers. With uncommodities, such as trash that is thrown away. If people are more apt to go dumpster diving and to purchase food that is slightly damaged with blemishes and reach for things that are still edible but are less valued by society and less wanted, then I feel like that could cause a disruption in capitalism and consumerism, retail stores, and how they present their food and how food is purchased and viewed overall. I hope I didn't talk in circles. I'm still trying to process it, but yeah, this week was very eye-opening, very informative. Makes me want to get back to composting for sure. And yeah, we hopefully will do better as a society, and as policies and regulations grow and we find this more of a pressing issue, hopefully better infrastructure will be in place in the future. Alrighty, thank you.